Most people format Excel reactively, consultants format Excel systematically. Now, today is not just more Excel formatting techniques, rather, it's about how consultants think when they're formatting spreadsheets. If you'd like your spreadsheets to look more like this, then this is the system you need. These are the 5 rules behind the consultant look. So when we're thinking about formatting, it can be tempting to jump straight in the spreadsheet, start changing fonts and colors and things. We don't want to do that. The first of the 5 C's is the composition of the spreadsheet. What's the basic use of space? What are the main blocks of interest? Where do we want the user's eye to go? I recommend you do this on pen and paper first. Yes, draw this out on pen and paper. Why pen and paper? Because it's a much more flexible medium. You can get your ideas down much easier than trying to work straight into Excel. So sketch it out and have that here next to you as a guide. With that said, let's get into Excel. The first thing I'm going to do is bring back the grid lines, Alt-WVG on the Windows PC, and let's just store our doggy down here for the time being. So I want to create some space at the top. We're moving towards a dashboard. We want to communicate a metric and put some cool interactive features at the top. Control-Shift+ on the Windows PC, I'm going to go ahead and put some rows in. I've now got some space to work with. So what are the main blocks within that space? How can we quickly delineate them? If you like, I'm going to go ahead, use the Shift key and the cursors. This area I want for a header, the title of the spreadsheet. This area here, this is where I want my interactive features. Going to hit the F4 key, repeat the last action. Can you see how easy it is to block off areas of the spreadsheet and get a sense of what the composition is going to look like? Going to hit the F4 key for our last block of interest. This is where our main metric is going to be. Now here, we're going to have differentiation in font size. Andrew Martin, Warwick Business School, when I first learned spreadsheets about 15 years ago, differentiation in font size is one of the least used features, techniques in spreadsheets. So here, we're going to have a big font and it's going to draw the user attention in that direction. So our basic composition done. Once the composition is sorted, consultants add color, but in a very controlled way. In the 5 C's framework, we have a super simple way of dealing with color in spreadsheets, which is a 1 color scheme. So back in the spreadsheet, let's start thinking about color. I'm going to save a bit of time here. I'm going to go ahead, go to our finish sheet, and I'm just going to copy the header format there. Now you might say, Chris, that's cheating, but in your Excel files, you should have a format store. You can check out our video, the Excel blueprint, link below for all of the sheets I have in all my Excel files. So I was able to bring that in super quickly. We're going to go for this blue. We're going to see later why we go for this blue, not the deeper blue here. So my first job here, single color scheme. I'm going to change this color to the same blue, which is this blue just here. So we've got our header in and we've matched the color of the header of the table. What about our metric area? We really want this metric to stand out. We said we want a big font size. Let's go ahead and merge the cells. Yes, we don't want to merge too many cells, but done intentionally can be very impactful. So I've selected the cells. I want to merge Alt-HMC on the Windows PC, and then this area too, this is where our metric is going to display. Hit the F4 key to repeat the last action there. So what do we want to do? Well, it's a single color scheme. We can now use a lighter shade of the same color. Dark color, light font, light color, dark font. It's the magic of the single color scheme. And this is going to be total fee here. And then we're going to change the alignment, Alt-H-A-M on the Windows PC, and we're going to go for some bold there. Then down here, a number is going to appear here. So for now, I'm going to put a kind of holding figure in here just to allow me to work out what the formatting should be. Approximately, I think about 36, maybe 32 is going to work here. And then I'm once again going to go for this middle alignment. I'm happy with this because this number really stands out. We might go a bit smaller later, but I love that differentiation in font size, just like on your car dashboard, a piece of information standing out. Right, what else do we need to sort out here? You can see there's a problem with the color down here. We're breaking the rules of the single color scheme. So I'm going to open the conditional formatting rules manager, going to go into this rule, and can we just make this the same blue? I'm going to go ahead, select this blue. I'm going to get rid of the border. The border kind of overcomplicates things with this kind of formatting. I'm going to apply this, and this too is looking good. And it's made me realize, yeah, we could go for the white lettering, the white font color here. I think we're doing pretty well. Finally, one contrast color we can have. We've got the one color scheme. One bright contrast color can just give it that premium feel. And this orange and this yellow in the standard colors can work pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and select a thicker border here. How does that look? I think that looks pretty good. So we've managed to sort out the color, single color scheme. Welcome to the year of your Excel success, but this isn't really about Excel, it's about you. Each month we build one skill step by step, no overwhelm, just steady progress with me and people like you. Because when you put your energy into the right skills, when your ladder is leaning against the right wall, everything gets easier, your work gets clearer, your confidence grows. So join the next live session and make this year the year you finally feel in control of Excel and of your career. Click subscribe to join the journey, links below. Color adds life to the file, but constraints give us control and make the file client-proof. If we can control what's coming into the spreadsheet, we can make everything look a lot better. So back into the file, what are our options here? You can see we've got a typical data cleansing issue here. We've got the same name spelt in different ways. This is going to cause problems with errors. It's going to disturb the aesthetic in our spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead, once again, just copy the values in from the finished spreadsheet. These are the cleansed values, if you like, Control-Alt-V. And how would we get this beautiful, clean, uniform data? It is, of course, using data validation. So go ahead, select the column here, and then we're going to go to data validation. Lots of options available to us. The drop-down menu, the list, is the most common form of data validation. So what's a quick way to put it in? Well, the shorthand way is you can just put your values straight into this dialog box. You can see I'm only choosing from 3 options here, so I can go ahead and type them directly into this dialog box. And that's how easy it is to create a drop-down menu. That means the data is predictable. That's going to help us keep our spreadsheet looking good. Other forms of data validation often forgotten about. Let's go ahead and select our date column here. We can put date validation on a column in a table too. So let's go ahead, go to dates. Then we've got options for the start date. So Excel wants us to specify a range. So only dates within that particular range are going to be accepted. This is a good constraint for us to put in. So I'm just going to say dates, broadly speaking, from 2026. And we can now see if we put a text entry in, it's not going to accept it. And if we put an entry outside of that range, that's not going to be accepted here. So if we can control what's coming into the spreadsheet, we can keep everything looking good. Now the file is more robust, which is great, but it's still missing that bit of sparkle, that consultant touch. Let's take a look. So what are some cool interactive features that we could add to our spreadsheet to really give it that wow factor? Well, one thing I love is slices. So let's go ahead, select our table design. We're going to insert a slicer here. You never used slicers before. You're in for a treat. Such a cool interactive feature. What slicers do we want to put in? Well, I want the user to be able to quickly select a dog and then to view the metric, which is total fee just for a particular dog. Now, your kind of default slicer is going to look something like this. I often find slicers can work really nice in a horizontal rather than a vertical orientation. Yep, something like that. So if we go to multiple columns here, I'm going to put 3 columns in. It allows us to switch to that horizontal orientation, which for me just uses space a bit better. So let's go ahead and road test our slicers here. So I'm just going to select Frodo. I can see Frodo's data automatically selected there. You can see our little doggy is suffering. So let's push our little doggy up here. You can see the power of slicers, interactive, only displaying the data that's filtered out by our slicer. How cool is that? But there's more, because we've got our metric here. And at the moment, we've just got a holding value in this cell. What formula could we use that would update the metric according to the rows displayed by the slicer and by the filter? Well, let's have a look. And let's go ahead and bring all the data back. We're going to go for subtotal here. The subtotal formula, 9 is what we want. 9 is going to perform an operation on visible rows. So that allows us to get the magic of only doing the calculation on the selected dog in this case. And then we want to, the column we're interested in is this column here. And we'll see, we're going to see the structured reference from the table. Yes, if we put more data below the table, this is still going to work. So let's go ahead. We've got total fee 905 here. That's because I've used the minutes column. So we can see how quickly we can change these structured references. I can just type in fee, and this gives me the total fee. Could we just improve this formatting? Yes, I do want that pound sign in there. So that looks good to me. So the total I can confirm by selecting all of the cells in this column, £142. Seems accurate. Now we can see the magic happen, because if we select one of these dogs, you can see that cell updating. We can even go for multiple selections using the slicer. So here's the data for Cuda and Luna. Then we go ahead and take the slicer off. So it's all about, once you've got the basics in place from the 5 scenes framework, you can put some of these interactive features in, beautiful curation, the icing on the cake. And finally, the rule that ties everything together. So by coherence, we're really talking about consistency, and this works on different levels. So firstly, consistency within the worksheet. That's what we've been working on today. But there's more than that. Consistency within a workbook. Yes, can we create the same look across multiple sheets? That's going to make people think it's great working with your file. And at the higher level, what about consistency across multiple workbooks? Now, this is super powerful, because when people work with a file that I've built, even if they don't know that I've built it, sometimes they'll say, did Chris build this one? That's because these things, they become your professional signature, your professional identity is kind of written all over these spreadsheets. That's incredibly beneficial. Internally, if you're working for an organization, you're going to get a reputation and you're going to be able to work on bigger projects. And if you're working as an external consultant, you absolutely want your spreadsheets to be distinctive across your whole portfolio of work. Now, I've been on a real journey in my career from formatting perfectionism, trying to get every color, every sheet, every workbook just right individually, to a much simpler approach, a simple system that I still apply every day in my work and gives my files a real distinctive feel. So I hope you too get value out of the 5 C's system. So that's advanced formatting. If you're following the year of your Excel success, don't forget to subscribe. The next video to watch is right here.